You know, the dream of studying in Australia, it's a huge one. But what if I told you that for a lot of students, that dream can quickly turn into a really confusing and honestly damaging cycle? Today, we're going to break down a massive issue, straight from a migration advisor, to give you a real guide to actually succeeding.
So, a really experienced migration advisor has noticed something, and it's a big deal. Back in the day, the goal was simple, laser-focused. Get permanent residency. You know, PR. That was the foundation for everything. But now, the focus has just completely flipped, and believe me, it is causing some serious problems.
Yeah, it's like the priority is totally shifted from building a future to just funding the right now. That long-term dream of a solid career, it's getting pushed aside for quick cash and, the status that comes with a flashy car. And this mindset, well, it's the start of a really destructive cycle.
And that brings us to the first big trap we need to talk about, the course hopping trap. It's the strategy that a ton of students get pushed into, but honestly, it can completely wreck their long-term migration and career plans. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing actually works.
Okay, so here's how it usually goes down. A student gets their visa for a pretty solid university degree, right? A few years long. But the second they land in Australia, the real plan kicks in. Switch courses. They jump over to a shorter, way cheaper vocational program, maybe in a trade. And look, on paper, it sounds smart, right? Finish your studies faster, start making money sooner. But the reality? It can make getting PR a massive headache and basically tosses their original career plan right out the window.
So you got to ask, who's actually winning in this game? The migration advisor we spoke to is super clear on this. A lot of the time, it's the agent who's cashing in on a commission for every single switch. And the student, well, they're the ones left trying to figure out a much, much tougher path forward.
But hold on, it's not just about getting bad advice. To really get why so many students fall for this, we have to look at the crazy amount of pressure they're under from the very beginning.
I mean, just listen to that. This perfectly captures the weight on their shoulders. We're not just talking about tuition fees here. This is a family's entire life savings. It's all their hopes, their reputation in the community. Everything is riding on this. The pressure to make good on that investment and to do it quickly is just enormous. And this pressure, it's coming from everywhere. You've got the financial squeeze from family. Then there's the social pressure, keeping up with what your friends are doing. Then you throw in agents who get paid when you switch courses, not when you succeed long-term. And the cherry on top, a government policy that honestly just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And here's the crazy part, the paradox. Australia desperately needs skilled trade workers, construction, that kind of thing. The exact jobs that these vocational or VET courses prepare you for. But it's super hard to get a student visa for a VET course if you're applying from overseas. So what happens? It pretty much forces students to apply for a university degree knowing they're going to switch later. It creates the exact problem the government says it wants to stop. It's wild.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we've talked about the pressures. It sounds a little bleak, right? Well, now let's get to the good stuff, the solutions. Here's some direct, no-nonsense advice from the migration advisor on how you can build a solid foundation and just avoid these traps altogether.
Really, it all boils down to one simple question. How can you set yourself up for real, long-term success and not just get stuck in survival mode? The answer starts with making much smarter choices before you even hit submit on that application.
All right, here's your Smart Start checklist. Number 1, pick a course you're actually interested in, not just something that looks like a shortcut. Number 2, make getting your PR the absolute top priority. Seriously, everything else can wait. And number 3, get your head around financing your education the right way, because this one, it can literally make or break your visa application. Okay, let's zoom in on that financing piece. A lot of agents will tell you to get something called show money, basically temporary funds from someone else to make your bank account look good. Let me be clear, this is super risky. Our advisor says you should go for a legitimate education loan instead. And I know that might sound backward, but there's a really good reason why immigration officials actually like to see a loan.
It's because a real official loan from a bank shows you have strong ties back home. You have a reason to return, right? You've got to pay it back. This tackles one of the biggest red flags for visa officers head-on, the worry that you won't leave after your studies. So ironically, that loan becomes one of the strongest arguments for giving you the visa. How about that?
Now, for some good news. The Australian government is finally waking up to these problems, and the rules are starting to shift. And this? Well, this makes focusing on that long-term goal more important than ever.
And get this, there is a huge change coming. Starting March 31st, 2026, it's going to be illegal for agents to get paid a commission if a student jumps ship from their main course. This is a game changer. It's designed to pull the plug on the very financial incentive that's been driving all this course hopping.
So, the message couldn't be clearer. The whole system is changing. It's being rebuilt to reward students who stick with a genuine, long-term plan. The days of exploiting these loopholes, they're numbered.
And really, it all comes back to that one core piece of advice from the migration expert. You have to treat this like a marathon, not a sprint. The real prize here is a stable future. Get your PR sorted first. I promise, the chance to earn money, to buy that car, to build the life you want, all that will be waiting for you, for your entire life, once you've got that foundation locked in.
So, that very first choice you make, it sets the stage for everything else. Which leaves just one question, really. Are you planning for your first car, or are you planning for your future career? Are you building for right now, or are you building for a lifetime?